Hello?
Hi there, Bill. This is Constable Joe and Galloway calling in the RCMP.
How you doing?
Not too bad. So, sorry, I was helping out another officer on another file there, but I see your complaint here. You know how you're scheduled to meet your accident exchange the children. Now, in terms of touching base with social development, apparently there's a 3-month protective intervention order that was put in place May 10th, effective until August 10th, unless reviewed by the minister, what have you.
When was
And speaking with Denica,
that was never
you're going to have
to me.
just wait a second, Bill. And there's going to be another family court appearance, I believe. If it's not this Monday, then or the following Monday, according to her. Maybe she got that right or wrong, right? So, if you have concerns, you put in the emergency application for breaching the custody order, right? But I'm sure you've got other things to say, so I'm all ears, and I'm just going to write this down for the file, right? So go ahead.
Please, I haven't been provided any court order. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, social development said they would have made you aware of that. But okay.
Social development didn't make me aware of anything, other than a phone call that I had with Cassie McDougall, which I have recorded and I've already shared on my YouTube channel.
Okay, yeah.
I called the court prior to that, and the court told me no applications or anything had been made. Now you're telling me that Child Protection is now intervening in this and put a protection order against me?
That's what they told me, right?
Who told you that?
It was just the after-hours emergency line. I didn't get their name. I was just speaking with an employee there.
Okay, and when did this go into effect?
Said May 10th.
On what grounds?
I didn't ask all the details on that. It would have been coming from Denica and what she would have told them.
So I've made reports to Child Protection in the past, and they said they would not conduct investigations on reports I made. So I'd like to make a complaint against the Department of Social Development Child Protection for negligence. I will provide you with the recording with the social worker. It was Cassie Ackerson. Cassandra Ackerson.
Or say that name again? I couldn't hear you.
Cassandra Ackerson.
Cassandra Ackerson. Okay.
Cassandra.
Yep.
Cassandra.
Yep.
Ackerson, Ackerson, because I had made a report to Child Protection as well as 2 other individuals, Michael Charles Ailes and Veronica Reardon, after they had heard a conversation that I was having with Danica Edgett where she involved Morgan Edgett, which was inappropriate. Now, Cassandra Ackerson told me they weren't going to investigate on any complaints that I made, which to me sounds discriminatory. They didn't conduct an investigation, and not only did I make a report, but 2 other individuals made reports, and they'll be happy to provide me with affidavits. So again, this is, as far as I'm concerned, a case of negligence on behalf of the Department of Social Development and failing to investigate a report made by me and 2 other sources. And I have the phone conversation recorded that was inappropriate. And I have not been contacted by Department of Social Development, courts, or anyone else since I last spoke with Cassie McDougall, which was a phone call on a Friday afternoon. I'm not even sure what date that is anymore. I have it recorded though, and again, it's on my YouTube channel.
Well, since, they aren't in, I'd have to call them tomorrow, right? In terms of touching base with Cassie McDougall and all that, and seeing, to what extent she can reveal to me about her investigation, but, okay.
Well, they never did conduct an investigation. Like I said, there was means...
Or just in terms of the process with the court procedures, what have you, right?
Well, they didn't...
What's going on.
This was long prior to their intervention on May 10th. They just failed to investigate a report of abuse that I made, as well as 2 other individuals.
department of that, or what happened when you did that?
When I spoke to Cassie, I sent emails to CBC Go Public, news reporters, NB Investigates, Minister Dorothy Shepherd.
Did you send it to anyone else in social development? Sorry to interrupt there. My apologies.
Yes, certainly. No, Dorothy Shepherd. And I believe Bruce Fitch was the Minister of Social Development at the time, so I would have sent it to him. That was before Dorothy Shepherd was removed as the Minister of Health and then put back into position as Minister of Social Development. But I've been in contact with both of them, have all my communications to both parties, the Premier, and everyone involved with all my complaints and the failure to investigate my reports of abuse. The school is supposed to be investigating that as well. My daughter self-harmed on November 22nd, 2022, and that wasn't investigated until February or March of this year. So it took them over a year to even do anything to provide any resources or help for my daughter.
Before, there's a lot to unpack there, but, in terms of, I just want to get back to your original complaint here. So it was arranged that you were going to see your children at 6 tonight, or what?
Well, you have a court order, and as far as I know, the court order is still in place. I have not been provided any judgment or any order by any judge stating that our current custody and access order is not valid and is not in place.
Right. But sometimes interventions within social development supersede those orders in place, right?
No, actually they don't. A court order can't be violated, otherwise it's a criminal offense under Section 127 of the Criminal Code. And helping to keep children in contravention of Section 282 is also a criminal code violation, which has a 10-year criminal sentence, which means there's no statute of limitations since it's a serious crime here in Canada. That means that the social worker, without contacting a judge to get a valid court order to vary a court order that was currently in place, is interfering with a valid court order and is helping to keep the children from me in contravention of a court order, violation of Section 282 of the Criminal Code of Canada.
Well, before I comment further on that, I'd have to talk to Cassie McDougall herself, right? To get the full picture.
Yes,
so
and you might want to speak to Benoit Jolet
tomorrow, and then I'd have to get back to you after, right?
Okay.
I can't say anything else for the time being.
Also speak with Benoit Jolet. He investigated this a number of years ago. He was staff sergeant at the time. Now he's inspector. He's in the Moncton area. And he gave me his card with his personal cell phone number, and he said if I ever had any problems with my children being kept in contravention of a court order again, and it wasn't being properly investigated, to make a report to the RCMP, and instead of going directly to the Civilian Ruin Complaints Commission and making a report for the officer failing to investigate, to contact him, and then he would make sure that the incident was properly investigated.
Okay, and do you want to provide me this information, or you're just going to...
Inspector Benoit Jolet, he was staff sergeant at the time. I've lost his card since. This was a number of years ago, but he's in the Kodiak region.
No, Ben Jolet. No, I've met him before. Okay, Bill. Well, I'd have to get back to you looking into a few things. Okay, so I'll hopefully, contact you tomorrow, and I'll send out some emails now. Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Okay.